Coach, when you go back and look at the tape from last Saturday, the first thing that jumps out at you is what?
Well, we made mistakes. We had to come in, correct some of the mistakes. Too many penalties, pre-snap penalties, some big mistakes, and we had to go back in. We corrected them Sunday, and we've moved on.
Your first drive goes straight down the field and couldn't have gone much better. Was it adjustments that they made and maybe you guys didn't make after that, or what was the difference between that first drive and the rest of the game offensively?
Well, we made mistakes. We came out here on Sunday, and we got them corrected, and we're moving on to Michigan State. I love our offense. They'll be really good.
Obviously, there must be 100 things that jump out at you about playing a team like the Spartans. What's the first thing when you step up like this?
Well, they're an excellent football team, well coached. They always have been. Mel Tucker's a tremendous football coach, and they got great assistant coaches. Their players are big, physical, and can run. And obviously the atmosphere. We had the noise out here today, and the atmosphere, it's going to be loud. We can't let the atmosphere get in the way of us playing a football game.
What do you tell guys who have not been in that type of atmosphere about the opportunity that presents itself for your guys this weekend?
Really nothing. It's 100 by 53. It's going to be loud. We have to manage that offensively, obviously. So some of the young guys that haven't played much in a big environment like that, they need to get adjusted. But we got to play, and like I said, we're playing an excellent football team.
How are you guys injury-wise after coming out of Morgan State?
We came out injury-free. We're good to go. We won't have Cade and we won't have Isaiah still, but hopefully get them back in a week.
Hey, last year you talked a lot about the team came out every day for practice absolutely the same, whether they won or whether they lost. What did you see in this team?
Well, last year was right, but it was different only because we were all pretty aggravated, embarrassed about the game, and a lot more physicality on Tuesday and Wednesday, and that was the difference.
I think exactly what Coach said. We were a little bit aggravated and embarrassed. I think we expected to win. And I'm not saying that we were lackadaisical in the week of practice, but I think that there was an attitude that maybe this team, was a good team, but that we were going to, just deserve it because we had a good year last year. But we came out this week. We had some physicality. We had way more of a load in practice. And we worked hard, and we were pushed hard, and I think it's going to be a good week. And I think it's setting a tone for how we're going to practice the rest of the year.
If Saturday surprised you personally at all, what did surprise you about the way you guys played?
I wasn't personally surprised at Morgan State. They were a really good team. They had really good players, and they were very well coached. We knew that coming into the game. I was just surprised that I feel like we were just moving a little slow. I just think it was a lack of intentionality about things on certain plays, and I think we can't do that. Even if it's making a mistake, you fly around. It looks way better on film than to move like a sloth, I feel like. So I'm saying that about myself included, and a lot of other key guys we've spoken about, that we're not going to do that again. And we're just going to take the lessons that we learned from last week and take it the rest of the season.
And how do you guys, the guys that you talk to, you're not going to let that happen again. How do you get that message, or does the rest of the team already have that message? How have you seen changes so far just this week?
Well, it starts from the coaches and the players, the leaders amongst each party. Like I said, we've been a little bit more intentional, doing things like the little things like running to the ball, getting a burst when somebody else has the ball, picking our guys up in practice, doing, we have literally did drills like that the Sunday after the game. I think it's that stuff, the little stuff goes a long way, and this is a long season, so I think that stuff will continue to build our team.
Michigan State's been on your schedule for a while. You probably have been looking forward to it. What is it about this step up in competition that gets you guys all fired up?
I think we're more fired up internally, that we just need to be better and we need to play better. They're a great football team. It's a great environment, and it's an incredible opportunity to go up there and play. But I think it starts with us and our mentality, that no matter who it is we play, that we have to do our job and put in that effort. And it doesn't matter the jersey, because we're going to play some great football teams, this one included, but it starts with us.
Were you part of the Maryland team that went to Michigan State?
Yes, sir.
What do you remember from that experience, and have you given any of that to your teammates?
It's a really cool stadium to play in. Their fans are loud. Their fans are really supportive of their football team, and it's going to be fun to see. I think some guys might be surprised by how cool of an environment that might be, but at the end of the day, we got to play. That field is 100 yards, just like this field, so we just got to play.
Hey, you had that one stretch there where I think you caught like 4 straight passes from Kyle. What was happening there? What was the connection that maybe was starting to build between you and him?
I don't know. I think Coach O called some plays and we just ran them. I don't think there's much anything deeper. I just think we executed and it was a good stretch of plays, but obviously it wasn't enough. And I think that we should be better, and hopefully I could be better. I have to play better, and we're on to compete with this really really excellent team.
First off, I want to thank my Lord and Savior Jehovah. Thank you guys for having me out here. But I think, the difference is that we're just coming out here and we're just focusing on ourselves. During this week, we definitely expected to win the game, but obviously we didn't. So it was kind of a wake up reality moment. This week we just really been honed in on focusing on ourselves, getting better each and every play, each and every series, every minute, every second, just focusing on ourselves and really trying to get better at our craft.
Do you like that it was different out here this week? Do you think that's an advantageous thing for this year's group?
Yeah, I think it could be advantageous. It just depending on how the guys take it. I think the guys have been taking it pretty well. Been looking at ourselves on film, figuring out what we need to do to get better, figuring out what we need to fix, and everybody's been really, focusing on themselves. It hasn't been really, pointing fingers or anything, which has been really good. As long as we can always reflect on ourselves and get better individually, then as a whole we will get better. So I think that's a great thing.
You guys had you guys, as a defensive unit, you guys had some really, really stretches where you played really, really well. Do you focus more on that as you get ready for whoever the next opponent might be, or do you spend a lot of time working on what didn't go so well?
We do focus on what we did well, and we gotta, continue doing those things. But as well, there was some things that we did wrong, which ended up leading to points. So we also have to focus on those things. But obviously, when you have more good than bad, it's easier to just look at the bad things and be like, okay, these are a few things we got to fix, and you can focus on just little things, really. So that's how we've been looking at it.
Do you have anything that you can compare to going up against a Big Ten offensive line, or how do you kind of make that comparison in your head before you get there?
Yeah, I would say like the past 2 years we played VTech in Virginia, so those are around the same size, maybe not as big, but just it's still just a football team. You're going against other people. You're going against offensive linemen. I mean, we've gone against some big guys. There was like a how big was he? There's a 400-pound lineman last week on Morgan State, so we had to go against him a couple of times. It's all about just going out playing football. If you do your technique, those things will play to itself. But obviously, we got to go out there full go every time.
Hey, you had that one strip sack. It's kind of hard to see from up there. Can you kind of tell us what happened on that play?
Yeah, so basically I was just rushing, and Morgan State, their quarterback started rushing the B gap every time when his read wasn't there. So I know I had to power to go to the B gap. So that's what I did. I saw the quarterback coming, and then I saw the ball. It was exposed, so I went, punched it out. I really didn't expect it to come out as easy as it did. I'm not going to lie, but it just fell right into my stomach, and I grabbed it, and then I just popped up with it. And I know that everybody didn't know I had the ball because nobody said anything until I ran off with the ball in the air, so that was funny.